Are you looking for the best strollers? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best strollers on the market. Before we get started with our video,
we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range.
Starting at number 1. Baby Jogger City Mini GT2 All-Terrain Stroller. The Baby Jogger City Mini GT2 is a 3-wheeled stroller with excellent shock absorption that gives it one of the smoothest pushes I have encountered. I got mine when my son was 7 months old because the stroller we'd received as a registry gift, a gloriously compact but kind of hard to push Babyzen Yoyo 2, was putting a lot of strain on my wrists. While looking for a smoother alternative, I watched a ton of stroller review videos and talked to all of my friends who had babies, and the City Mini GT2 kept coming up for its combination of a cushioned 3-wheel push and easy one-handed fold. I was convinced as soon as I tested it. In fact, pushing doesn't feel like the right term because of how little effort it requires to guide the baby jogger forward. This means I can casually stroll while steering it with one hand and drinking a coffee or sending a text message in the other, and still not feel any pressure or strain on my wrist. Other perks include an adjustable handlebar for adults of different heights, a huge sun canopy that covers my son almost completely in shade, and the aforementioned one-handed fold, which is almost unbelievably effortless. You simply pull up on a soft handle in the middle of the seat and the stroller collapses under your hand. It has a roomy padded seat with a near-flat recline and lots of rear ventilation that makes it comfortable for my son to sleep in, even in hot weather. The storage basket isn't nearly as big as the Vistas, but I can easily fit a diaper bag, picnic blanket, toys, and a few items from the farmer's market with room to spare. Once mine arrived, it took me less than an hour to assemble, strap my son into it, and get out the door. The only small issue I have had is its size. Getting the baby jogger quickly through my front door can be tricky because its back axle makes it wider than a lot of other strollers, so I have to pay close attention to my angle or I can get stuck. And it's too heavy and awkwardly shaped to lift up and down stairs the way I do with the Yoyo. So it's not the stroller I would use for trips into Manhattan on the subway or to the grocery store or a museum. But when it's folded in my apartment, it's surprisingly unobtrusive, and because it's great on grass and bumpy surfaces, it's a perfect park stroller. Number 2. Babyzen Yoyo 2 with 6+ pack. At just over 13 pounds and around 17 inches wide, the Babyzen Yoyo is one of the most popular lightweight strollers for city living. I have been using the Yoyo 2 model since my son was a newborn, first with a Nuna Pipa car seat and a set of adapters, and now with the 6+ seat pack. The brand also makes a bassinet attachment, which strategist senior editor Ailby Malone preferred over the stroller's other options, and something called the newborn pack, a softer, sleeping bag type attachment that, unlike the bassinet, can be folded right along with the stroller. I take the Yoyo on the subway at least once a week from Brooklyn to Manhattan during rush hour and have no trouble maneuvering through the winding station tunnels or even past other passengers to find a seat in crowded cars. It is easy to carry up and down subway stairs while my son is riding in it, less so as he gets bigger, and narrow enough to weave around tourists on sidewalks or through tight aisles in restaurants. I have not yet taken it on an airplane, but I have many friends and colleagues, including Malone and strategist senior editor Winnie Young, who have flown with it, and they all found it really useful and easy to fit in the overhead compartment. Strategist senior editor Simone Kitchens loves the Yoyo's small footprint and keeps hers folded in the trunk of her car so she can pop it out for museum visits or other crowded places. Kitchens also has an Ergobaby Vista V2, which she uses as her everyday stroller. The main drawback of the Yoyo is that pushing it isn't very smooth compared to a full-size stroller. When I have driven it over grass or dirt paths, I felt every bump in the handlebar. But now that the wrist problems I had when I was postpartum are resolved, it doesn't cause me any discomfort. And on flat surfaces, it is very zippy and makes tight turns. I love the amount of freedom it gives me to get out of the house fast and travel throughout the city as close to the way I used to experience it as possible. While the Yoyo 2 doesn't have as flat a recline as the baby jogger, my son has no trouble falling asleep and napping in it. The fold is slightly more complicated than the baby joggers, mostly because the button you push it is hidden underneath the stroller, and the wheels need to be facing a certain direction for it to fold correctly. But it is doable with one hand, and once I got the hang of how to do it, the process became second nature. Now I am able to fold it and sling it over one shoulder while holding a baby in the other hand. People often complain that the storage basket on the Yoyo 2 is too small, but I have actually found it sufficient for everything I need for a day out: diaper bag, lunch, blanket, toys. The recently released Yoyo 3, which I'll be testing next, is supposed to have a bigger storage basket, among other updates. The sun canopy doesn't compare to the coverage you get with the Baby Jogger or the Ergobaby Vista, but it does have a peekaboo window, and Babyzen sells a nice-looking add-on parasol to achieve near-total shade. I also think the Yoyo is one of the best-looking strollers and has some of the nicest color options of any stroller on the market. Number 3. Joolz AER Plus Lightweight Baby Stroller. When you spend every weekend hanging out at playgrounds and walking around the park, you start to notice things about other people's strollers that you wish your stroller had or could do. And lately I have been eyeing the Joolz Air Plus with such stroller envy that I asked a friend if I could test hers out. Like the Babyzen Yoyo and the Thule, the Joolz Air Plus is lightweight, the lightest on this list by about half a pound, and easy to fold up to fit in airplane overhead bins or car trunks. It's also narrow, making it a great city stroller. But it has two major advantages over my Yoyo. The seat is more upright when it's in the fully upright position, and the seat's back cushion is taller, 21 inches to the Yoyo's 17. This means that kids are more supported, no more leaning forward all day or straining to sit up straight, and can use the stroller for longer. I was pleasantly surprised by how smooth it was to push the Joolz Air Plus around the playground, and even over grass, thanks to its slightly larger rear wheels. I also like that the foot brake is wide and situated in the center of the rear axle, as opposed to off to one side, so you can more easily use it without looking. The storage basket has the same capacity as the Yoyo and the Thule, but it is more open and better for carrying taller items or bags. That said, the recline on the Joolz Air Plus isn't my favorite. Instead of just a strap that tightens or loosens, you have to unzip the whole back panel and then change the recline with an inner strap. This makes it slower to adjust and is hard to do quietly while a baby is napping. Number 4. Ergobaby Metro Plus Deluxe Compact Stroller. Number 4. Ergobaby Metro Plus Deluxe Compact Stroller. My husband and I, our son, and his nanny have been testing the Ergobaby Metro Plus Deluxe Stroller for the past month and a half. To do this, we folded up our Babyzen Yoyo 2 and made the Metro Plus Deluxe our everyday stroller to get a holistic sense of how it handles different situations throughout Brooklyn and Manhattan. It doesn't have the same sleek, trendy appeal as the other compact strollers I have written about above. But that, and the lack of a snack tray, is pretty much the end of my criticism. All 4 of us love this stroller way more than I expected we would. My favorite features are the extra comfy padded seat, the included accessories, belly bar, rain cover and cup holder, and the nori thread harness that's easy to buckle fast and never gets twisted. It has the only parent cup holder I have tried that actually keeps my coffee from spilling, and the only rain cover that I can put on easily without waking my napping child. Instead of elastic, it has several points of Velcro and a longer back panel that keeps my stuff dry in addition to keeping him dry. My son's favorite feature seems to be the curved belly bar that lets him put his feet up or rest his arms without ever restricting his personal space. Other belly bars I have seen or tried, like the Ergobaby menus, sit really close to the child and look uncomfortable. My husband loves how easy it is to steer the Ergobaby Metro Plus Deluxe, that the adjustable handlebar locks and feels sturdy, and that because this stroller sits lower to the ground than our Baby Jogger, it's easy for our son to walk next to the stroller while holding onto the frame. Folding it is easy to do one-handed, and when it's folded it is as small as the Babyzen Yoyo with the added benefit of standing on its own. It's smoother to push than the Yoyo and just as easy to maneuver as the Joolz Air. It's ever so slightly narrower than the Joolz Air at 17.3 inches wide to the Air's 17.7 inches. I have taken it on the subway and into grocery stores, bookstores, and cafes with no trouble at all. Even though it is about 4.5 pounds heavier than the Yoyo, I am able to quickly carry it up subway stairs with my son sitting in it. All this and a near flat recline for $50 less than the Joolz Air. Best of all, if you are really on a budget, Ergobaby makes an even cheaper, more bare-bones Metro Plus stroller that comes in 8 colors for $100 less than the Metro Plus Deluxe. Number 5. Thule Urban Glide 2 Jogging Stroller. Thule's Urban Glide 2 is known for its extremely smooth push. True to its name, it really feels like it is gliding across the pavement. Rose says it's the smoothest stroller she has ever pushed thanks to its big, air-filled rubber wheels. Rose and her husband are both able to run in Prospect Park while pushing the Urban Glide one-handed. It also thrives on rugged terrain, she says, and is great for taking on nature trails or to the zoo. The standout feature is its handlebar twist brake that slows the stroller down for you when you're running down a hill, making it easier to keep the stroller in control without having to use your own body weight as a counterbalance. And compared to other jogging strollers, like the popular Babyzen jogging strollers, it is more lightweight, Rose says, which makes it easier for a wider range of runners, beginners included, to use.